Hello. This is Aubrey Bursch with Easy School Marketing. I'm excited you're here today with me because we're going to discuss how to help your one-person marketing team win. All right, so let's get started. First, number one, determine the ROI on all your marketing initiatives. Are they actually worth the time and energy you're investing, right? I would highly recommend going through and doing an audit and figuring out which things are working and which things aren't. Don't just assume just because everyone else is doing, Facebook ads or is posting to their feed 5 times a day, your school needs to. Figure out what's working for you and what is sustainable for your marketing department of one person. Number 2, outsource time-consuming tasks. This is a really good way to maximize your very small marketing department because look, they're one person. They can only do so much. So keep them in their zone of genius, right? And make sure they have the time to execute those tasks that are unique to them, but then outsource any time-consuming tasks, either delegating them to people on your team or outsource to an external source, graphic design, whatever it is. It's amazing. Like, you don't have to spend so much money when you do that because you're not hiring on additional staffing, like with benefits and stuff like that. You're just hiring out for those times when you need a graphic design project or something like that. And that makes sure that your marketing person can focus on what they do best, right? All right, number 3. This is kind of goes with number 2, but number 3 is really like during your peak marketing times. I always tell this to admissions people too. Like, bringing on additional staff or help to support is very helpful. Now, like for example, we come in sometimes and we work with these small marketing departments and we help them plan out their year, right? And we guide them through like the tough parts, right? So that they're set for success moving forward. So something like that, it could be, you bring in an intern at certain point in times. I mean, whatever it is, it's looking at like, when are the peak times? How can we make sure that we're setting up this marketing person for success? Definitely. Number 4, right along with this, plan. This means planning annually and then making sure that you have a plan for like the quarters and you're revisiting that plan. There are so many times when we reach the end of the school year and we're all burnt out and then we just kind of like, ooh, and we're like, next year has to be better. Well, in order for next year to be better, we need to plan, right? And I will say, because we've been in COVID, things have changed. So the plan you were using for the past 2 years is no longer relevant. So your new plan, what is it? Who's doing what? Make sure you're planning out the entire year, what needs to be done, what events are happening, what has to come from the marketing department for that. Everything. That's really important. Number 5, I'm a big believer in batching. Batch your content. Batch anything you can. Anywhere. So I say it's always a good idea to set aside 1 hour a week and protect that time. And that's your batching for the week. And then maybe you have a larger batching, like maybe it's like 5 hours a month or like half a day a month or something you set aside for larger batching tasks. And then annually batching. So for example, faculty and service, I'm always taking photos. I'm always interviewing faculty. I'm always like, how many videos can I generate during that time? So I don't have to chase down the faculty later on that year for the videos. So it's thinking strategically about what content you need and then saying, when am I going to create this content, right? And then batching it during those periods. So you can batch so many things. You can batch all like email content. You can batch videos, photos, everything. So important. All right, number 6, automate and use technology. So automation will save you time and energy. So, that's setting up email, drip campaigns for your new parents, like all that stuff can be done relatively easy. It's just like a one-time time investment and then you're done. And then you tweak every year that sequence and then it helps so much. Also, I would also create an email, like a bank of all your past content because most likely you will need it again. So using technology to both automate and then also make sure that you're creating templates and stuff like that. So like in Google Drive, you have different templates for different emails that you send throughout the year. Like there's always a welcome letter. There's always like key emails and stuff. So you need to make sure that you're sending them on time and that you're keeping that content and using it. Number 7, set up systems. So this is really important. Set up systems for collecting photos from your faculty and staff. Like, things should be fed for you. Set up systems for when people are making requests to the marketing department. Because oftentimes it's like you're passing in the hall and you're like, hey, Sandy, can you get me that brochure by December 5th? And, that's not effective. Right? So what is the process for for people requesting from the marketing department, and setting up systems for that? That will help a lot. So I hope these tips were helpful to you. I know what it's like to have a very small marketing team, either half a person or a full person. And I know the struggles that schools face when they're dealing with that. So I hope this was helpful. Email me at Aubrey@easyschoolmarketing.com if you have any other questions. I'd love to hear from you. Take care.